Hi, I'm Lisa Natoli. Thank you so much for being here. This is the 40-day program, and this is the very first video. And it's going to be the longest video, and I think it's the most important one of all because it's going to set the groundwork for what will occur. And this is the preparation, getting ready material. And I wanted to just tell a little bit about where this program came from, what it is, because it's changed my life completely. And this program first started in 2010 when I had had A Course in Miracles since 1992. So I'd had A Course in Miracles. I didn't understand a word it said, and I dedicated my life to it. I knew there was something in this message, but I wasn't having the experience that it offers. I was not feeling consistent joy. I was not experiencing peace. So I knew all the words, but my life was a mess. You know, I was having moments of peace and moments of joy, but I always lost it. And in 2010, I knew I had to do something completely different and dramatic because, and this is what this program is based on, and you don't need this book. You're probably going to want to get it as we go along, but you don't need it. I'm going to be using some of the ideas from this book, and what it says in here is that there is an experience that transcends all lack, all limitation, all fear, and you come to know yourself as love, as spirit. And I wanted that. You know, I really wanted to have that experience, and I was just so frustrated, really, that I wanted something so badly and it wasn't coming, and I realized that I was the block. That I had everything that I needed, and I was the one that needed to shift. A Course in Miracles says there's two thought systems, love and fear, and we as human beings live in the thought system of fear. And our whole life reflects that thought system. And what the invitation is to shift into a thought system of love. And I was able to do that on a sort of temporary basis. I could shift, I could stay there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I always just would slide back into my old habits and routines. And so in 2010, I made this decision that I was going to live for 40 days in that thought system of love. And what I did was I invited others to join with me. It was a paid program at that time. I was coaching people. I was working one-on-one with them. I could only physically work with about 12 people. I was doing 1-hour Skype calls with them. I was charging money, and my life changed completely. I saw my life change almost overnight once I'd made that shift. And the first thing that happened, though, was all the fear that was buried came to the surface. Like everything that I was pushing away, calling by another name, not wanting to look at, was suddenly in front of me. And that's what the 40-day program is for. It's to allow everything that's not love to come to the surface so you can look at it and release it with forgiveness and love. And what happened is I did a couple of those 40-day sequences as a coach, and I was just getting this very strong call that I was not to be a coach anymore, and that I was not to charge for it anymore. I wanted to offer this material to as many people as possible, and I wanted to offer it for free. And so in, I think it was 2013, I recreated the program and offered it as an online program, and it's been amazing. Like 7,000 people have taken that program, and just tremendous healings and shifts in perception, And I offered that for the next couple of years. And then I got this prompt, I wanted to offer it again. And so I'm offering it now again. And it's based on Jesus' experience of going into the wilderness. And I love that idea. You know, Jesus was this man who was a carpenter. He lived a normal human life just like we live. And he reached the age of 30 and he had a stirring in him. He probably had that stirring his entire life. But at the age of 30, he knew he had to leave that life behind. And that's the invitation to you here, that you join with me and you leave behind all your stories, all your routines, all your habits, all your beliefs, that we're going to let the past go and we're going on a trip. We're going on a 40-day trip. And this next 3 days is preparation. And I'm going to ask you to do 3 things in the next 3 days. I'm going to be here every day, so you'll get a video tomorrow and the next day also. And the 3 things that I'm going to ask you to do in preparation is you're going to write a commitment letter to yourself, and you're going to need that commitment. That, to me, is the most important thing, because when you say yes to this kind of work, a lot of things begin to change. A lot of fear can rise to the surface, and the excuses will come. They just will. Already you might be thinking, I don't have time for this. Because what happens is when you make a decision for change, there is something in you that will begin to fight. It just will. We say we want change with our head, but there's something in us that does not want to move. And so this requires a commitment now. And so that's the first thing, the commitment letter. The second thing is what I call a declaration card, where you are going to be coming up with a vision for yourself, a new way of being, a new state of mind, and you are going to live that state of being for 40 days. And the ideas from this card are coming from A Course in Miracles. I'm going to ask you to sit quietly and write your own card. I'm going to describe it in a little more detail. But this is what I did. You know, it was like I had this idea that one day I was going to be a certain way. And the day never was coming. So suddenly I saw, okay, when I'm healed, when I have more money, when I lose weight, when all my ducks are in a row, then I will live a different kind of way. And what I ask you to do, and again, I'm going to describe this in fuller detail, I'm just giving you an overview right now, is I realized that the thing I wanted to be had nothing to do with the money or my body or my life or my relationships. Like if you can take, let's say you have a physical disability or a sickness right now, and if you were healed completely, how would you feel? What would your state of being be like? What would your day be like? If you lost weight, if that's what you want, if you gained weight, if you're trying to gain it, if you had more money, what would your life look like? How would you feel? And you start to see that you can go to that place right now, right here and right now. Because what everyone's doing is they're waiting for the external situation to change and then they'll change. But you have to change first. You change first. So that's the invitation right now, is that you're going to step in and say, I am whole and perfect. I am spirit. I am one with God. God is my source. I have everything. I am surrounded by the love of God. And I'm going to give you some of these examples in the written part of these messages. So I'll give you some examples. But more than anything, what I want in this program is for everything to come from you. I want you to sit quietly and come up with your own vision, your own new way of being. And it's more powerful that way. And every day you're going to live by that card, your declaration card. I am whole, I am healed, I am perfect, I have everything. And add in the specific details of what that is. And the final thing is decluttering. So for the next 3 days, we're getting ready to go on a trip. So when Bill and I travel, and we travel quite a lot, we immediately clean everything. We do not want to go away and come back to a mess. And what this 40-day program is, it's just like Jesus. He left his life and he never came back to it. He never went back. And that's what's going to happen for you, is that you are leaving your life now. You're leaving it behind. You're leaving your stories behind. You're leaving fear behind. And again, don't worry. We're going to go for 40 days. I'm going to be here. I'm supporting you. And I'm going to give you a practice every single day that will help you shift. And this program and the results that you see depend entirely on you. And I'm just here to support you. I'm going to give you a practice every day. But what I'm doing is helping you make the shift. I'm going to encourage you every day to shift. And what I'm doing is I'm speaking to the self that's true. I'm not speaking to your limited identity. I'm always going to be speaking to the self of you that is whole, that's healed, that's perfect, that's innocent. And the part of you that's true starts to stir and wake up. You will begin to feel more alive. And you will see healing. You will absolutely see results. You will see your physical world change. But it begins with you. It begins with you shifting the way you're thinking, the way you're seeing. And so I ask you to just clear your space. I ask you to clear your physical space. Just get rid of things that you don't want. Just clear things out that are no longer serving you, that are broken, that are ripped. Just your physical space, clear it out. And then as we go along, the first part of the 40-day is releasing the past. It's about clearing and purification. The second part of the 40-day program is about developing a relationship with God. And I know some people have a problem with that word, and I ask you just to keep an open mind. And I want you to have a direct experience of what this intelligence is, this power and this presence. And I want you to know directly. So for now, we're just acknowledging God in our life. And, you know, it's really important, this commitment letter. And I just want to read through it. And this is in a document that you can print, that I, and then your name, will complete all 40 days no matter what. And I ask you to draw your circle, and that you're literally drawing a circle around you where you're just going to stand in it for 40 days and allow everything to come up. So this is what happened with Jesus. This happened after he was with John the Baptist. He had this stirring in him, this call, and he went to John the Baptist and he was baptized. And now you're being baptized here today. This is your baptism. And Jesus was filled with the Spirit. And then from that point, he was led by Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted. And I love that. Because most of us don't want to be tempted. We do everything in our power to not be tempted. We want to push everything away that feels bad. We want to fix and control and manipulate. And we always try to get back to that place of feeling happy. But what this is an invitation for everything that's uncomfortable to come into your awareness so you can look at it. And you're being led by the Spirit now into this new place. And I ask that you simply trust, that you just trust. You don't need to do much. And what's going to happen for the next 40 days is a commitment to watch yourself like a hawk. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about this commitment letter in more depth. and I'm going to talk about the declaration card. But I just want to give you an overview today, and you can have a look at it on the website. You can print it if you like, and you can write your own. You can write your own commitment, which is very powerful. But the things I'm asking you to do is to watch yourself like a hawk. That for 40 days, you're going to watch the thoughts that you're having, the feelings that you're experiencing. You're going to notice the stories going on in your head, and you're just going to watch. And then you're going to allow everything to be exactly as it is without fixing it, changing it, trying to control it, or trying to understand it. You're going to acknowledge an intelligence in your life, a power and a presence that's with you, that loves you, that will heal every aspect of your life when you join with it and you invite it in. You're inviting this power to come in. And it's always been with you, but when you invite it in, it's in your awareness. And then you commit to a minimum of 30 minutes per day, preferably a little bit more, to doing this work. For meditation, for journaling, and for watching this video, and for the exercises. And I just want you to have fun. That's mostly what I want with this program, and I want you to see results. And so for the next 3 days, I just ask you to start clearing, and I ask you to just start thinking about your new way of being, how you are in truth. Just think about it. Just think about how you would be if you had everything. If you didn't have any of your stories or your physical limitation or sickness, how would you be? You would be more vibrant, more alive, fully engaged with people, that you would be serving, you would be showing up differently in life. So I want you to just think about how you would be, and then to think about this commitment, just to really honor what you're doing, and just to say, okay, this is my new beginning. And to feel excited. I want you to feel the enthusiasm of this. So I thank you with all my heart for being here. I love you, and we're going to have a great 40 days. Thank you.